You mentioned that you're going out and putting up 10,000 door hangers a month. Who's doing that? Is someone in your office doing that? Or are you doing that, or are you outsourcing that?
It's kind of a game of red light, green light. So as the return pays off, you can start adding more to it and paying a company. In the beginning, I teamed up with a title company, and I got a great deal on getting them printed, and I would actually staple rubber bands to them because I couldn't, really didn't have the money to go and have Office Max even punch them. So it was just about keeping the costs very low, and I would, on my spare time, just go out and get some exercise and try to walk 100 homes a day and deliver those myself. So a lot of the marketing and prospecting that I did in the beginning was all done by myself, but as the business started to grow, slowly I'd bring on a new person to help with that marketing piece. So currently, I do have a local company that goes out there and delivers all those. It takes them for 10,000, actually takes about 3 weeks. They can get out about 500 a day. Depending on the weather, Arizona in the summertime, it gets pretty hot out here, so they can only deliver for a few hours at a time in the summer months. But currently, we do have a professional service doing that. But door hangers, by far, we have found are the most cost-effective way to reach homeowners. For example, if I go on to a mail service company and I'm going to send out postcards, by the time it gets created, it gets posted on it, the whole 9 yards, you can be 40, 50 cents a piece. With the door hangers, it really costs us about 10 cents a door to have them delivered. So the print costs are low. Again, we team up with a title company, so we get some discounts on the print costs. Then at 10 cents a door, it's half the cost of any type of mailer that we could possibly do. And the other benefit about that is the homeowner has to actually physically remove it off its door. So you're going to get a few more seconds of a look than you will if it's a postcard that's in the mail that may or may not even get a glance, just end up in the trash can.
The 10 cents, does that include the printing?
It does not. If you want some hard costs, 10,000 a month costs me about $1,600. And it's $600 for the printing and the cutting of the postcards, and then $1,000 to have them delivered.
When you were putting the door hangers up, were you knocking on the door and talking to the homeowner?
No, I haven't. I know a lot of realtors are big proponents of that. I personally have never been a door knocker. Anything I do, I try to put myself in consumer shoes. And I know, when I'm at home with my wife and my kids, the last thing I want to do is have somebody knocking on my door, and have to go out and speak with them. And I'm just not very receptive to it personally. So, I just try to show, if I don't appreciate it, I'm sure other people aren't going to appreciate it and disturbing their family time. And people are just so busy anymore. So no, I've never actually knocked on the door. If they're standing in the driveway washing their car, something like that, I may hand it to them and have a few minute conversation with them. But I've never never door knocked in my career. So it's just been when I was doing it personally, I was just throwing them right on the door, rubber band them to the door, and on to the next. And that way, too, I could get so much more done, just trying to keep up the pace. And to hit 100 homes in a day when you're walking them by yourself, that would take me, a good hour and a half or so. So it takes some time.
You've got these folks putting these door hangers up. How do you make sure they're not just taking your door hangers and throwing them in the trash can? How do you make sure that they're actually getting up on the doors?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question because we have had that. We have had it where, they just wind up in a dumpster somewhere. We've had companies come to us and approach us that say, we GPS all of our employees. We know where they're at. We're watching them, and it ends up being, quite the opposite. So it is important to get to know the door service company that you're working with, get to know them on a personal level, interview them pretty thoroughly, get some testimonials from, get some clients that they're currently delivering for, call up those clients and those businesses and make sure that they're happy with it and see what kind of return they're getting. Everybody's area may be a little more or less receptive to it, so definitely give them a call. And the door hanger company that we work with, they do that, and they hand out our numbers. I've been contacted by numerous other businesses, whether it's a cable company or a dry cleaner or a restaurant, to ask about our satisfaction with this company. So definitely do that, and as much of a pain as it is, you do need to drive them in the beginning. So in the beginning, they would basically, I supply them with the maps that I want them to go to, and every day when they're done, they have to report back to me, hey, we hit this subdivision or this area was worked. so I know exactly where they were. I can drive up and down the street, to make sure that they're actually hanging on the doors. So we did that the first few drops, and then after that, we built up that relationship where we trust them. We know we're confident they're getting out there, and of course the return. If we get 0 calls after doing 10,000, we know something weird is up when we normally get about 15 calls.
So if you put up 10,000, you're receiving about 15 calls?
In the beginning, that was true. I mean, we would, and more calls than that, it would actually generate to about 15 listings when we started doing this about a year and a half ago. Today, it's about half that. We actually just completed a 10,000 drop, and we got 7 out of it.